Welcome back to the Dynasty Citadel. My name is Terry, and we're going to get in our top 12, or my top 12, rookies in Superflex. NFL drafts taking place. It's come and gone, and now it's time for our rookie drafts and for us to actually draft. So these are my top 12. Put up a list, and it might get tweaked a little here and there, but I believe right now this is what I would consider my list for Superflex. And obviously, number one, we're going to go Ashton Genty. He's going to be everybody's 1-1. And rookie drafts, I don't think the format really matters. It could be Superflex, couldn't be. It could be regular one quarterback. Honestly, right now it doesn't matter. Boise State, just over here looking at some statistics for him. 4,700 yards, averages 6.36 yards a carry. I'm going to say Doak Walker Award winner, Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award winner, Bobby Bowden Trophy. Genty has everything, right? Let's go over some of his strengths. Genty, contact balance and power. Probably one of the best ever, especially with missed tackles forced. He has great vision, agility, speed burst. He can catch, as we saw in his sophomore year with the 500 yards. He has 80 career receptions. And then it doesn't seem as if scheme fit matters to him. So it doesn't matter if you have a zone or a power scheme. Ashton Genty is meant for it. Now, some of his so-called weaknesses, workload concerns, just because he's had almost, I want to say, close to 800 carries in these past 2 years. So that is a potential concern. Ball security, he's had 7 career fumbles. Probably one of the worst fumblers in the class, to be honest with you. Pass protection, he's a young back, but he needs to get better in that from everything I read. And, of course, the level of competition. With him playing not in the him playing in the Mountain West and not playing in a Power 4 school, that seems to be a lot of people's issue. But honestly, I don't think it's too much of an issue. Yeah, but he's the one. He's the 1-1 with the Raiders, with Pete Carroll. They're going to run the ball. Chip Kelly's offense, he's going to be dynamic. He's going to probably be, if bold prediction would be saying he's a top 5 back. A true bold prediction would be saying he's the number 2 running back in fantasy this upcoming year. And then that will shoot him up boards. If he's the number 2 back, he'll be the number 1 running back in fantasy. If he's the number 2 back this year. I won't go as high to say he'll be the number 1 back. Next up, we have Ted McMillan. He's my number 2. Yeah, Ted, he was selected 8th by the Carolina Panthers. Of course, went to Arizona. From Hawaii, got a guy who's 6'5", almost 220 pounds, 5-star athlete. I want to say he played basketball. I know a lot of people said he played volleyball as well, I believe. So he's played. Let me look at some of his stats real quick. So he finished as Arizona's career leader in receiving yards with 3,400 yards. And again, this is 3 years. 26th, ranked 3rd in touchdowns with 26. 4th in receptions with 213. Okay, so he's had an illustrious career at Arizona, right? He won plenty of awards. Polynesian College Football Player of the Year, Blitnikoff Award finalist. If I didn't know he was Polynesian, I do now. Polynesian College of the Football Player of the Year in 2023 as well. But let's go to his strengths. Yeah, of course, he's 6'5", almost 220. Like, he has good size, catch radius. For whatever reason, ball skills, everybody says that he makes spectacular catches look routine, which is a good sign, in my opinion. Body control, I'm thinking from the volleyball. Not necessarily, maybe the basketball too, but he has good. They said he has good body control. He's not stiff. and that's a good thing, especially for the big guys. Yards after catch is pretty decent, and his route running is pretty solid. Weakness, his speed, long speed, 4.53, 40 might not necessarily be the best, but it's not necessarily something to be too concerned with. Say he's not a pure separator, struggles against press coverage, just needs to get that cleaner, but he does win a route. So they said the nuance of the route, the fakes, the breaks, stuff like that, doesn't sink his hips all the time on comebacks. But he is 6'5", so I think I'd rather him play to his height, just to be honest with you. But the thing is, and they say he can build muscle. I think that's a good thing. He's young. They say he has some easy drops. But the thing is, he has a low drop rate, so I'm not sure about that. And I guess his attitude. But that was something that came out his freshman year. It's the tape that's saying he doesn't watch film. But who honestly cares about that? But overall, Tet, I believe he will be their primary X receiver. I know they drafted Leggett last year at the end of the first round, but Leggett's going to have to play that zero if he's going to want, and he might have to compete with Coker, because one of them is going to have to go in the slot. But looks like Canales is trying to build a wide receiver room of just 6'3" and over guys, because that's what it seems like. But yeah, Carolina should be, especially with Bryce Young's progression, they should be a lot better offense. And then, of course, you have Tet, who can win on outside. And if he does that successfully, he's going to be definitely a top receiver, especially in Dynasty, coming up for future years. My number 3 player on the board, we have, as soon as it clicks over, don't do this to me now. We worked on this. Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton went to North Carolina. Got drafted by the Chargers at 22nd overall pick. Basically 6 foot 220. Ran a 4.46 in the combine, which basically shot him up everybody's boards. A lot of people have him as the 1-2. Me personally, he's my 3rd. I believe Tet is that special, so I have Tet as mine 2. But Omarion Hampton, he's that 3rd guy. He's won awards. Dating back to high school as North Carolina's Gatorade Player of the Year, 2 times Max Preps Player of the Year. So he has an illustrious career as well. He has a career. He's finished 4th in North Carolina's history with 3,500 career rushing yards, 3rd in touchdowns with 36, over 4,000 yards from scrimmage. Productive, and I want to say these past 2 years for sure, over 1,500 yards these past 2 years. If we talk about national awards, he was a finalist for the Doak Walker Award the past 2 years, Maxwell Award, All-American honors, things like that. If we're looking at his strengths, size, his power, that build, five, let's call him 6 foot. 6 foot 220. He's going to be a bell cow, I believe. He can catch. He might not catch to the rate of like a Christian McCaffrey, or just say in this draft class a LaQuint Allen, or anybody similar to that previous what was his name, Bucky, and nothing like that. But he can catch well enough. Contact balance, he has good missed tackles for us. I'm looking at his yards after contact per attempt at 4.35, a really good number. You're looking for numbers over 3.6 if you can. He has good athleticism, especially for size. They said pretty elusive, has pretty solid receiving ability. I would say pretty decent pass protection, though it is noted that he does need to work on that. And his durability, I would say he's strong there. Some of his weaknesses, vision. Says from everything I'm reading, it's what the words say, leaves a lot to be desired, misses clear lanes and runs into blockers and defenders. Not necessarily the best, but he is a young back. He can get better at that. Just watching film, obviously. Long speed, the thing is, he might run the 4.46, but I guess let's just say use Saquon for example. Saquon, I believe, ran a 4.43, but he has a different gear that seems faster than 4.43. Whenever he gets into that mode where if he gets by a defender, you're not catching him. And it might just be a condition thing, because some guys, they could run for top speed, let's just say for 3 or 4 seconds, versus some guys might be able to run top speed for 10 seconds. So it just depends on how long you can hold that top speed. Agility, they say a bit stiff, not the most fluid athlete. His pad level could be a little too upright sometimes. His pass protection technique, so I guess there's willingness there, but the technique needs a little revision. Limited in the receiving route tree, but that's fine. And that's fine. If he's efficient, that'll be fine. They said also he needs to do a better job in protecting himself. Well, that's not good. Ball security was an issue. 6 career fumbles on 695 touches, but last year he only had 1 fumble, so that's a very good sign. His best fit will be the zone scheme fit, where he just cuts downhill, and basically it's saying it's a less creative run style, but if that's what he's good at, I would definitely make sure I run that scheme. And I'm pretty sure Harbaugh and Greg Roman is going to make sure they do that. All right, let's go to our next guy. Next, we have Travis Hunter, who goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars in a trade. Now, honestly, Travis might be, and the crazy thing, at 4, he might be too low, because he goes number 2 in the NFL draft. They trade, Jacksonville trades a ton of draft capital to get him. So we know he's going to play. He wants to play both ways. We know that. But Jacksonville's already come out and said he's going to be a primary wide receiver, and they're going to work with him on the defensive side. So I think this is a good spot to put him right now. He's from Georgia, like me. He was the number 1 overall recruit in the 2022 class. Number 1 everywhere in Georgia. We know that. So, but he follows Deion to Jackson State. Then they go and follows him to Colorado. And this past year, what does he have? 1,295 yards, I believe. And yeah, he just puts what did he win this year? Because he won a bunch of awards, I feel like. What was the awards? He won, obviously the Heisman, the Walter Camp Player of the Year, AP Player of the Year, Sport News Player of the Year, the Bednarik Award for defense, the Biletnikoff Award for receiver. Yeah, he won a lot of awards. Yeah, but with Travis Hunter, if we're going with some of his strengths, right now, basically a savvy receiver. Let's see, fluid routes, a lot of bounce and flexibility. Yeah, you could definitely tell that. The thing is, when he catches the ball, even there was one touchdown that they show a lot where he's not at the best angle, but he finds a way to get his hands around. And yeah, it's a creative route runner, can win at all 3 levels. Yak ability, yeah, Travis is going to be really good. I wish he would just focus on receiver, because honestly, I think if you focus on receiver, he probably could be 2. He probably would be 2. Weaknesses is size and frame. He's going to have to add more muscle. A lot of the young receivers are going to have to do that. Durability, that's the main issue, because if he's going to be playing both sides of the ball, is his body going to be able to hold up? Technique and refinement. Obviously against press, he gets the word used here is mauled at times. And it says the cruise control routes won't fool NFL cornerbacks. It definitely won't, because usually these guys are the top at their college, so they're not going to be that bad. And actually it says competition for Travis Hunter here. He's rarely challenged by NFL caliber receiving, but that's on the defense end. Yes, so I think he could be a really good receiver. I hope he plays receiver and wants to play it, because I think if he does, then he could be a very good player. But we just have to see him actually. He actually has to want to do just. If he just did one thing, he would be good. He would actually be on like a Hall of Fame trajectory, but he doesn't want to do it. But that's fine. Next, we have R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey. Now, this might surprise a lot of people, but me personally, I was high on R.J. Harvey to start off with, and then he gets selected in the second round to the Broncos, and now I'm like, this is the best spot he could have. This is the best spot he could have possibly gone to, right? With R.J. Harvey, he gets the draft capital. He's putting up over 1,400 yards in each season, and he's the only true running back they got. He can catch. He can run. He can catch. He can do everything. He can do everything that you need him to do. So he is my number 5 player, and I think he's going to put up some crazy numbers. People are worried about his age, and let's just say you get 4 good years out of R.J. Harvey, and that's it. Well, that's good enough. That's the lifespan of a running back. If you can get 4 top 24 seasons out of somebody, I'll take it. And then if I could sprinkle in a couple of top 12 seasons, that just makes it even better. Think about it. Somebody like Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne's only giving you 1 top 12 season. Been in the league 4 years. Najee Harris, how many top 12 seasons has he given you? 1? So when you really think about it, just think of the talent. The elite breakaway run percentage. Elite missed tackles forced. He can catch. He rushed it over 1,400 yards. And of course, my stats in my computer goes away. But he is a great fit with the Broncos. And I don't think there is any, I honestly don't think there's any competition there. And R.J. Harvey is going to eat. He already runs a 4.4. Already strong as an ox. Yeah, I personally don't think there's another guy that can end up with the Broncos that can actually challenge him, which makes me move him up that board for me. Number 6, Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins has been good since his freshman year. Put up, I believe, over 1,500 yards at Ole Miss. Transfer this year to Ohio State. Splits time with Travion Henderson, who we'll see later on the list. But with Quinshon, analytically, there's some numbers that you would like to be better. But overall, when you look at just his efficiency, how good he's been, and then just the opportunity that he has. He was the first running back drafted in the second round. And he gets a spot where he really doesn't have too much competition. You still do have Jerome Ford, and then they added Dylan Sampson, who technically has a better PFF profile than Quinshon Judkins. But he was drafted in the 4th round. So I'm not sure what that means for Jerome Ford or Dylan Sampson. But either way, I believe this is Quinshon Judkins' backfield. He's going to be basically the new Nick Chubb. And he's going to get the touches. He's going to get the carries. And they don't really truly have a number 1 quarterback right now. Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be it's going to be a shootout in camp for a quarterback. But for the running back position, that should lead to a lot of carries if they don't have a solid quarterback. And now his receiving profile might not necessarily be the best, but I'm pretty sure he can catch checkdowns in the backfield and be fine with it. So eventually he might work his way into a 3-down back. I'm not totally sure, and that's why I'm not too scared of Dylan Sampson, because Dylan Sampson really didn't show in college that he could really do that. Dylan Sampson really is just, if anything happened to Quinshon Judkins, you have Dylan Sampson, another good back behind him. That's really the only thing. So, but with Quinshon, yeah, I think he's going to wind up being fine in that offense and having honestly nothing to worry about. Yeah, right now I'm actually just trying to pull up a few stats so I'm not just talking blind right here. Next on my profile we have Cam Ward. So with Cam Ward, he transfers to Miami for this final season, puts up 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, and on 7 interceptions, so not bad on the interceptions part. But the reason I have him 7, because it's not really the best quarterback class. Now, he did go 1-1, and I've been trying to do a lot of work to figure out just the quality of the 1-1 pick, just like the NFL 1-1 pick, to see how elite it truly is. And I'm still going through some numbers, and I probably should have. If I was thinking about this, I would have pulled this report back. I would have pulled this report up. But with Cam Ward, he put up Heisman-like numbers this year, and I believe he should, with Calvin Ridley. I can't say Treylon Burks. They picked up Tyler Lockett. They drafted 2 wide receivers. I remember, what's his name? DK or Kamara DK? Whatever his name is. And then they picked up Elick Iomanner. Got his college teammate in Xavier Restrepo. And I'm pretty sure they'll add some more around him. Already has Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, Chig Okonkwo. Picked up a tight end as well in the draft. It's not Gunnar Helm. Who's the other one? Jeez, that's bad. But here goes my stats. Okay, so I'm looking at. I was trying to find like fantasy superstars, right? And where would he rank in this? So we have Cam Newton, Andrew Luck. I don't think his games represent either one of those. You have Michael Vick as well. Doesn't represent that. Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford's arm is better. And I'm not. The thing is, Matthew Stafford is like a big range. And you have Kyler Murray, but he doesn't rush like that. You have Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow, I would say, was a better passer than Cam Ward, just coming out. Jared Goff, honestly, is more accurate. Same with Baker. Trevor was predicted higher as a ceiling, right? So I'm struggling to find out who Cam Ward or what Cam Ward should be or where he should be, to be honest with you. I'm truly struggling with just that whole notion. So once I found out, that's why he's 7 right now, because everybody else these first 6 on this list, I trust that they will be good. In my mind, there's no doubt they will be good this year. I think every single last one of them, even Omarion Hampton with Najee in front of him right now, and he might honestly not even be in front of him, because Omarion is just going to be more efficient, and he's going to be, I believe he's a stronger back, even though Najee is technically bigger. I think Omarion Hampton just plays stronger than what Najee does. So that's why I have Cam Ward here. I just don't know. I don't know. I know he's a 1-1, but I feel like I have a 50-50 shot with him. And I'd rather take my bet. Usually with quarterbacks, it's a higher percentage, especially with the 1-1. But I have named some names, and they've all had decent fantasy seasons. Even somebody like Jameis Winston had a decent fantasy season. Trevor Lawrence has had one good one. But then you do have a couple busts, like David Carr, but I'm going way back now. Sam Bradford, Jamarcus Russell. That's a long time ago. And I can't even call Bryce Young a bust right now compared to what he did this past year. And even if he's like Caleb Williams, what was he still quarterback 15? And that was a rookie year where hey, look, his defensive coach and his offensive coach really couldn't coach him. So, yeah. But I don't know what to do with Cam Ward. We'll see. Travion Henderson. He's number 8. Now, I think Travion could potentially slide up above some players. Now, the thing is with the New England offense, I know they like to rotate backs. And if they do that, that's what's capping Travion. But Travion will be a good back just once Ramondre leaves. And that could be 2 years from now. Or it could be this year, depending on if Ramondre fumbles. Because if Ramondre keeps fumbling, Ramondre's going to be out of a job. And no matter what that contract says. And then it will be Travion Henderson backfield. Now, I think right now, with the money, I think it's still Ramondre. Majority of it will go to Ramondre initially. But eventually, I think Travion is going to go ahead and take that backfield. He's already a 3-down back. So, I don't think we have anything to worry about there. It's just opportunity. Once he gets the opportunity, I think Travion will be good to go. Tyler Warren. If this was a tight end premium, Tyler Warren would be a lot higher for me. I think Tyler Warren is in the mold, the body style of a Gronkowski. And then his friend Colston Loveland's a body style of like a Travis Kelce. Not necessarily a play style, just a body style. Now, Tyler Warren looks like he can do a little bit of everything on the field, which I like. It's not Brock Bowers-esque because Brock Bowers, to me, when I see Brock Bowers run, I see a receiver doing drills. I remember seeing him run with the tight ends, and this was before he started. And when I saw that video, I should have traded for him immediately. I looked at him because to myself I was wondering. I was like, why is there a receiver running with the tight ends? And I kept saying that to myself. Yeah, because there's this video of just the tight ends doing practice, and it was with Brock Bowers. I didn't know which number Brock Bowers was yet. I didn't know anything. I just knew Brock Bowers was practicing out there because I was looking for him. And to myself, I'm like, why do they have a receiver running with the tight ends? It doesn't make any sense. It's just because how smooth he was. And you could already tell the difference. I should have known to trade for him, too, after I saw that. But anyway, Tyler Warren, I think he's going to be a little bit more stiff. He's a bigger guy, obviously. But I think he's going to be on the field a lot more. I personally think, and this is just opinion-based, this isn't necessarily stat-based or fact-based. I do need to figure out if it is true, though. I believe rushing quarterbacks look for their tight end a little bit more. Let's just go down the list. We have Kyler Murray, throws to Trey McBride a lot. We have Cam Newton through to Greg Olsen a ton. I know Mike Vick. Man, I can't think of our tight end back in the day, but I know he threw to him. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews. Josh Allen doesn't throw to Dalton because Dalton doesn't want to stay on the field. Let's see who else. Who else? I'm just saying these rushing quarterbacks. Oh, Jaden Daniels. Zach Ertz had a great year this year. I think there's a correlation if you have a good tight end with a rushing quarterback. Now, the thing is, with Anthony Richardson, he's not that accurate, which I do understand. I truly understand that. But I honestly think that might be the cheat code. I truly think. So, in tight end premium, I'm taking Tyler Warren. I have to make another list. I'll just have to make another list and do it like that. But I'm taking Tyler Warren just because I am pretty certain about my theory. I need to try to see if I can prove it, but I'm pretty certain about my theory about rushing quarterbacks needing a good tight end. I'm pretty certain about that. Just because they just need a blanket, somebody else that they can throw when they're on the move and on the run, just a big body, a big target that they can throw to. And that's what Tyler Warren's going to be. And he had, I want to say, did he have like 1,200, 1,300 yards this year? And he just was a dominant force on the offensive end of the field. And that is who Anthony Richardson will have, or that's who Daniel Jones will have, because both of them are rushing quarterbacks. That's who either one of them will have. And I think the offense, honestly, on the passing side, Daniel Jones is going to run a better offense. Anthony Richardson is going to make it more exciting and might score more fantasy points for himself. But that's why I have Tyler Warren, number 9. I think that in that offense, I know people are projecting him down further, but I think in that offense he can actually be good. Now, another thing about the tight end, which I did look up, the top tight ends don't amount to, if I'm just doing a PPR and no tight end premium, they don't amount to the same value as like a number 20 or even a number 30 receiver. Because Travis Kelce, the number 5 tight end last year, if you go to a PPR league, Marvin Harrison still scored more points than him in a regular PPR league with no tight end premium. So that's stuff you have to think about. And I'm over here thinking, can Tyler Warren be a top 5 tight end his first year? Because if not, that's why I have to move him down boards. If it's not tight end premium, in tight end premium, yeah, let's move some of these, start moving these guys up. But with the non-tight end premium, that's why we have that. Number 10, Caleb Williams. Had to put him here. Got day 2 draft capital. I was earlier today just looking up hit rates, trying to look up hit rates for running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. I was trying to look up hit rates for everybody, quarterbacks as well. And running backs is clearly the highest. Round 1, round 2, clearly higher than anybody else. Round 3, it does fall down a bit, but it still seems to be like a 35% shot, which I'd be willing to take any day of the week. Caleb Williams. Wow, I was supposed to be Caleb Johnson. Well, forget the typo. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. But Caleb Johnson, which now that is irritating. Caleb Johnson had one good season, but this was really his only season that he really truly played. So when you put that into consideration, Caleb Johnson did really well this year, and he got on the map. I want to say his breakaway run percentage was really good, if I remember right. He was elusive. Yes, yards after contact per attempt was 4.42. He caught a little bit, not really, but he had over 1,500 yards, 6.4 yards a carry, 1,000 yards, 1,060 yards after contact. He had 28 basically breakout runs, carries over 15 yards plus. So even with the 4.58 40, still could run. So Caleb Johnson, I know it says Williams, Caleb Johnson. Now this is probably gonna be a shocker for a lot of people, but Jaden Higgins is my number 11 player. I value Jaden Higgins as one of these top wide receivers. When I look at just pure stats, pure analytics, I think of X receiver. He jumps off the board for me. Yeah, his breakout age was when he was 19, so when he was young. He's passed 2 seasons. He's been good. This past year, he's had almost 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns on 87 catches. He wins against man. He wins against zone. Contested catch rate at 58%. Yeah, receiving grade at 90. Now, what he does, so the yards after catch isn't that great. So he might be more of a possession receiver, which is fine, honestly. He has Nico Collins on the other side. But I believe Jaden Higgins is going to have a pretty good year, especially across from Nico. With coverage being shaded to Nico, yeah, I believe he's going to get a ton of passes from C.J. Stroud, and he's just going to be open. And it might, and then he has teammate Noel out there too, possibly, depending on if Christian Kirk's healthy or not. But yeah, he's going to have a lot of opportunity this year. He was drafted. Was he the first fantasy relevant player drafted? I think in the second round, I believe, if I remember right. Because I want to say it was him first, then Judkins went after him. So he honestly almost snuck in the first round at the end, but he could be. No, well, he can't be Ladd, right? Because Ladd really didn't go into any true competition. Nico, that's not even competition. Nico's number one, and basically everybody else falls in line after that. And I believe Jaden Higgins is going to be the one that falls in line. I'm going to be trying to get a lot of shares because I know a lot of people is not going to have him number 11. Yeah, they're not putting Jaden Higgins number 11. And honestly, he's one of my favorite players in this draft. And he is, let's see, it's clearly my third receiver because I don't have another receiver up here. Yeah, but he could really have a really good year this year. And I'm going to finish this off with Colston Loveland. He goes to Bears offense. It's starting to get a little crowded, but he is going to be the tight end one. So you can Komet, don't have to worry about Komet anymore. Komet is not going to be getting that many touches compared to Colston Loveland. I can tell you that much. Colston Loveland with Michigan was getting, I think, 35% of the team's share of yards. And he was the offense. And now they didn't have a passing game this year. The previous year they did, and he did really well. But yeah, let's look at a little bit of stats, especially since he's the last guy that we're going to talk about. So with Colston, he had 580 yards on 56 receptions. Still had a 90 receiving grade. Run blocking is, I believe, one of his issues. I think Warren might be too, but Warren's just a bigger guy. Contested catch rate, not worried about that. Not with him. The previous year, he had more yards. He was more efficient this year, believe it or not. And yeah, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a matchup nightmare, man. Yeah, and then in that offense where you already have DJ Moore, you have Rome Odunze, who's going to be better this year. And then you throw in Colston Loveland into that mix, plus whatever you can get from Luther Burden. Yeah, you still have DeAndre Swift. So I guess they did like DeAndre. So I thought initially that I did well in my deal, and now the Bears don't even draft a running back in the first until I think round 7, and I think it's Kyle Monagai. But this is Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland is my number 12 player. For me, he can do more on the offensive side, probably what Tyler Warren can do. He's just a smoother route runner and whatnot. Tyler Warren just does everything pretty good. I think that's the difference. Colston Loveland is going to be the better receiver. Tyler Warren is going to just be the overall better player. And I heard the comparison earlier, which kind of makes sense. There's everybody knows Travis Kelce is the better receiver, but Kittle is recognized actually as the best tight end in the NFL. And it makes sense. I would say Kelce gets all the accolades because he can catch, but Kittle is the actual best receiver when it comes to the blocking, doing the dirty work, and then still being able to catch and receive. But this is my top 12. You have Ashton Genty, Tet, Omarion Hampton, Travis Hunter, R.J. Harvey, Quinshon Judkins, Cam Ward, Travion Henderson, Tyler Warren, Caleb Johnson, Jaden Higgins, and Colston Loveland. That is my top 12. Feel free to debate Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why RJ Harvey is way too high on my list, because that would be a thing. And tell me why Jaden Higgins is as well. But those are two of my favorite players in this draft, and they're going to probably stay on most of my list. And I guess tell me why Matthew Golden, uh, why he should be on the list, even though analytically I do not like him at all. And I've mentioned that plenty of times at this point, but yeah, he's going to actually have to prove it to me before. Um, yeah, because you can't just prove it to me in 2 games. Yeah, you're going to really have to prove it. That is my video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will talk to y'all next time.